What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode here at Collector of Stuff. Monty here, glad to be back with you guys again. Today we're going to take a look at recent movies, DVDs that I have picked up. And again, I'm going to do this in two parts. The reason being is my movie pickups are just as big as my comic book pickups over the last month, 4 or 5 weeks. And I think in this episode I'm going to do most of just like the single movies and things like that that I've picked up. But I also have a few boxed sets, and I'm going to save those for part 2 of this. So it's been a while since I've done a video about movies and my movie collection, and so I'm excited to be able to do another one with you guys. I still watch a lot of you guys in your movie collections. Dean of DVD is a great channel. I like Collector Vlog. Has a fantastic movie and TV collection. I wish he would do videos more frequently than he does, because I really like his stuff. And there's of course Zaran Izarak. I like his channel as well. Puck Bond 007. There's several of you guys. I'm going to leave probably 2 or 3 people out, but oh shoot, what's the well, I knew there was somebody else. There's a guy that has this monstrosity collection of movies. Mine's getting there. I don't have a monstrosity yet, but it is getting there. So anyway, let's not waste more time, because I've spent 2 minutes talking about absolutely nothing for the most part. I've been picking up over the last month or two a huge lot of horror movies, gearing up for Halloween season. There's still about 4 or 5 more that I would like to pick up between now and October. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get all the ones that I want, but I have a wish list of movies that I'd like. And if you go back and look through my movie collection overview videos, which you'll see a channel for that on my home page there. You know, I have a pretty good sized horror collection already, so I'm adding, just filling in things that I wanted and still didn't have. And anyway, a lot of horror stuff in the collection, all that to say. Got some teen movies, some action movies, some romantic comedy and comedy kind of things, and some drama stuff as well. Mostly horror though in this video, so let's get started, shall we? First thing I picked up this month was Children of the Corn, of course based on Stephen King's story. I'd forgotten how good this was. I don't have any of the other Children of the Corns. I haven't read good reviews about all the other ones. If there's some that are good, leave me a comment below and let me know. But I'm happy with just number 1 here as well. I then went on a rampage picking up some more of the Friday the 13th movies. I actually have the first 4. Yeah, I had 1 through 4. In the collection already. So now I've added number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8. And I'll probably stop there. I think 8 Friday the 13th movies is enough to satisfy anyone's bloodlust or bloodthirst or whatever you want to call it, right? Of course, I've had for many, many years the classic Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I actually have a steelbook edition of that one. But I did pick up Texas Chainsaw Massacre number 2, Not sure, are any of the others of those good enough to add to the collection? I don't know much about the rest of the sequels. 2 is okay, but it's nowhere near what number 1 is, obviously. Oh yeah, and those. Going back a ways, we picked up Jamie Lee Curtis in Terror Train, another Scream Queen classic. Double feature of Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 1 and Part 2. I have not seen any of these. I have seen this collection and had it on my wish list for a while, and went ahead and pulled the trigger when Amazon, I think, had it for like $4 or $5. So went ahead and got it, and I'm going to wait till closer to Halloween time for that one. And then I picked this one up. It's a triple feature. I really was buying it for the first one, and I did go ahead and watch the movie because I'd never seen it before. But there's a reason behind it, and that is the trilogy of It's Alive, plus It's Alive 2, It Lives Again, It's Alive 3, Island of the Alive. I have not watched 2 and 3. I watched number 1. The reason that I wanted to pick this up, A, it was cheap. B, when I was a kid was when It's Alive came out, and they had this commercial on TV, and many of you guys may remember it, where it basically just showed that baby crib, baby basket, and and a voice just came on talking about this couple who had just had a baby, and the things were happening, something like that. And then you just saw the hand come out of the basket like that, and it just said It's Alive. Anyway, as a child of about 9 or 10 years old, that commercial freaked me out and terrified me every time it came on. And at one point, I actually would get up and run out of the room because I didn't want to see it. And it's always fascinated me through the years because I've remembered that commercial, never saw the movie. Now I have it in the collection. I will at some point watch the other 2, I'm sure, somewhere down the road. But I mainly picked this up for the first one. It was only available in the 3-movie pack, 3-part feature, so I didn't care. It was dirt cheap. Again, it was about $5 for the 3 movies. Not a big deal at all. So, what else did we add to the collection? We added, oh yeah, okay, had to make sure what I was reading here. Never had any of these movies in the collection. I've seen them all but never owned them. Now I do. We have the 3-pack of Scream, Scream 2 and Scream 3, triple feature, and then I also picked up Scream 4 as well. So now it's nice to have all the Scream movies come Halloween. Speaking of sets or collections of movies, I was able to pick up this nice boxed set there. You can see the side. Paranormal Activity 1, 2, and 3. Got all 3 of those, plus number 4. So all the Scream movies, all the Paranormal Activity movies. Nice to add those to the collection as well. Then I picked up Cabin in the Woods. It has the nice slipcover as well. Of course, everybody is familiar with Cabin in the Woods by now. Great movie that is not what it seems. If you haven't seen it, and you're a fan of horror movies, you need to check this one out because it's definitely not what you would think that it is. That is for sure. Last but not least, in the horror movie pickups, double feature, Pet Sematary and Pet Sematary 2, both by Stephen King. I watched Pet Sematary when I picked this up. I have not seen number 2. I'm saving that one for the Halloween season as well. So not too shabby. I'm quite happy with my pickups. Like I said, I've got another 4 or 5, maybe 6 movies on my wish list that I'm wanting to add to the horror movie collection. I'm not going to say what those are in case I'm able to pick those up. It'll be a nice new video. But I'm quite happy with that pickup. That's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 23 horror movies that I've picked up in the last month. But that is not all. Let's keep going. I like to categorize my films when I put them in the shelves and store them away, and I have them all by genre. I have my action movies together, my fantasy movies, my horror movies, and I have a set of what I call teen movies, which normally, or which includes things like Fast Times at Ridgemont High and all the John Hughes movies, Pretty in Pink and Breakfast Club and all of that. But then it also includes like American Graffiti, basically, the coming of age, Ferris Bueller, those kind of things. And so I picked up a few to add to that collection as well. Let's start off with American Pie. I haven't owned any of the American Pie movies yet, so this is the first one that I've picked up. I bought this at my local used bookstore for $1.95, so was quite happy to pick that one up for that price. Also picked up Dazed and Confused. Pretty wild movie. I always wondered where Matthew McConaughey got his all right from. Well, this is where that came from. Just finished watching all the Harry Potter movies, all 8 of those, over the last couple of weeks, and just really fell in love with Emma Watson. What a beautiful young girl. So I picked up Perks of a Wallflower. I have not watched this yet, but just wanted to see more of her and in a different type of role and what else she can do besides the Harry Potter movies. And just seems to be a very classy young lady from what I've picked up. Also picked up Emma Stone in Easy A. Wasn't quite exactly. I guess I was expecting more of a John Hughes type movie. It's a little more raunchy, I guess, than what I was expecting, but it's okay. It's not a bad movie. This is one that was on cable, and I got to see like the last half of it, and just kind of really got into it. And this is Zach Braff and Natalie Portman in Garden State. I haven't watched it yet, but I picked this up at the local bookstore, $1.95 as well. And since I enjoyed the last half of it, I thought, for $2, let's own it and see the whole thing. Of course, Natalie Portman is great as she usually is, and very fun, teen-oriented movies is what I call those as well. Got a few comedies that I picked up. Drew Barrymore, Never Been Kissed. Really love Drew Barrymore and her comedies and romantic comedy kind of stuff. Always does a great job. Picked this up at Walmart in the $5 dump bin. The 2 Scooby-Doo movies, 1 and 2 in a 2-pack. Picked that up. Nice to have those. At the local bookstore, I picked this up for 45 cents. Couldn't help it, had to have it for 45 cents. The best of Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. If you haven't seen some of these, I know he can be pretty raunchy as well at times, but when he goes to the Star Wars premiere on here is absolutely hilarious. When he goes to the Bon Jovi concert, it's hilarious. The one episode they don't have on here, I was so disappointed, is when he went to the Michael Jackson trials, and I don't know if there's some legal reason why they didn't put that on. I don't know, but that episode I have on my iPod, and it is absolutely hysterical. Love it. Speaking of comedies and romantic comedies, I have picked up a few of those. How about the two Bridget Jones movies, Bridget Jones' Diary and Bridget Jones' The Edge of Reason? I always like a little Renee Zellweger. Picked those up at the local bookstore. Those were 95 cents a piece. And The Edge of Reason, well, I opened it. That's right, I wanted to make sure, but it was 95 cents and still shrink wrapped. Had never been opened. Steve Carell, Julianne Moore, Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, Kevin Bacon in Crazy Stupid Love. Haven't been able to watch this one yet, but I'm eager to do that. Zoe Deschanel, another gal that I really enjoy her. Picked up this one, Gigantic, with John Goodman and Ed Asner. This is, and Paul Dano, this is a weird movie. In fact, I did not finish it. I watched it and got about 2/3 of the way through it and just had to stop. I was bored to tears with it, and my wife was watching it, and we made the joint decision that we didn't want to see the end of it. I'll probably pop it back in sometime in the not too distant future to give it a second chance and finish it. But I'm such a big Zoe Deschanel fan, and I like her, but man, does she do some crappy movies. Yeah, sad to say, but it's hard to find good movies that live up to her as a person, I guess. It was a fun little movie called She's Out of My League, where the nerd gets the gorgeous blonde. Kind of a fun comedy. It's not quite a romantic comedy, but even though there's some romance involved, it's a nice fun comedy there. A couple of dramas that I was excited to add. Two beautiful movies that if you don't own these two movies in your collection, you really need to. Being from the South of the United States, these two movies just mean so much. Of course, I'm talking about The Help. You really have to have this movie. Emma Stone is just absolutely wonderful in this movie, as well as the other actresses. And you'll have to apologize, my glasses were recently broken, and I'm having all kinds of trouble reading small print. I have new glasses on the way. Octavia Spencer, Bryce Dallas Howard, Viola Davis. There's just some fantastic. It's a great story, but great performances in this movie. You have to have this movie in your collection, and you have to have Fried Green Tomatoes. Sad to say, I haven't had either of these movies until now in the collection. Two great Southern themed, Southern related movies, but both of these are movies that make a grown man, a big old guy like me, cry. And like I say, you gotta have these in your collection if you don't. Absolutely love them. Last but not least, we are adding to the collection what I consider to be some action based films. The first two I got for my wife because she requested them. I had not seen them. I watched them with her, and man, totally cool. I'm talking about Red with Morgan Freeman and Bruce Willis, John Malkovich, Helen Mirren. It's a great cast. And Red 2. Added both of those to the collection. Really liked them. Lots of fun. Glad my wife recommended those. I didn't know anything about them. She said, honey, can you get these movies for me? And I did. I scored brownie points. And glad to have those. What else did we add? Kill Bill and Kill Bill 2. I, again, never really seen these movies. I'd seen bits and pieces of them, but not movies in entirety. And I was watching a YouTube video, and it had a scene from Kill Bill 2. that just fascinated me, how it was filmed and all of that, where she's doing the sword fights with all the ninjas all around kind of thing. And so I had it in the back of my brain, I'd like to pick up the movies, and sure enough, at my local used bookstore, $1.95 a piece, I picked up Kill Bill and Kill Bill 2. So I'm looking forward to watching both of those all the way through. Picked up Mission Impossible 2 and Mission Impossible 3. I do not own 1 and 4. I've got to pick those up, waiting to find those at the used bookstore as well. Again, these were $1.95 a piece. Can't beat that. Speaking of $1.95, I was able to find Red Dawn that I picked up with a slipcover. Little story about this one, little anecdote. And please know that I'm not advocating anything now as an adult. But as a high school teenager, this movie came out when, about 1982 or something like that. I was in high school. Anyway, gang that I was running around with, we all went to see this movie after spending several hours of heavy pot smoking. Again, I'm not advocating anything. This was way back in the early 80s. And I was about 17 at the time, I guess. Anyway, we went to see this movie, and all I remembered was going into the theater and sitting down. And I woke up, and the credits were rolling. And I'd missed the entire movie. And for 30 years, never saw the movie. Found it at the used bookstore, $1.95. Picked it up because it had the nice slipcover, and decided that I was going to see what I missed all those 30 years or so ago, 30 plus years now, nearly 35. Yeah, I had to find out what it was I was missing all that time. So we have Red Dawn added to the collection. Please don't think I'm advocating anything. I just thought you would appreciate or enjoy that little anecdote. Last but not least, again at the request of my dear sweet wife, she also asked could I find her Taken with Liam Neeson and Taken 2, and I was able to pick up both of these for $5 a piece at Walmart in the $5 bins that they have there. So Taken and Taken 2. I've seen Taken, I have not seen Taken 2 yet, and I know that there's a Taken 3 that just came out. She knows that it just came out not too long ago. I'm sure she will be asking for Taken 3 in the not too distant future. So I'm probably going to go ahead and pick that up just to surprise her and save it for when she asks for it. And then I can just toss it out there to her. I can throw it at her. She'd appreciate that. I'll literally just throw the DVD at her. But she'll still love me anyway. Alright, this is part one. I have a few boxed set kind of movie collections, and I kind of want to do those because we're already nearly 25 minutes into this one. So I'm going to do that in a part two. But leave your comments about any of these movies. Are there any of these movies that you like? If you like them or don't like them, let me know why. Where they rank in your opinion of movies. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We talk about all kinds of things here at Collector of Stuff. Movies, comic books, toys, TV shows. Got one of those in the next video too. Anyway, thanks for watching. And until, I'm knocking everything over. And until next time, bye.